Stop scrolling right now, because the NFL just made a decision that proves football is no longer only about stats, wins, or box scores. It's about attention, power, and who people cannot stop talking about. And that is exactly why Shedeur Sanders being named to the Pro Bowl has set the entire league on fire. A fifth-round rookie quarterback, not a first-round superstar, not a stat leader, not a playoff hero, is now officially a Pro Bowler. And whether you like it or hate it, that single fact exposes how the modern NFL really works. After Drake May moved on to the Super Bowl and Josh Allen and Bo Nix were ruled out with injuries, the league had options, and instead of choosing safe or quiet, the NFL chose noise, debate, and ratings by selecting Shedeur Sanders as the replacement. That move instantly made history, because no fifth-round rookie quarterback has ever made the Pro Bowl before. And suddenly, the label people used for months to discredit him became impossible to escape. For weeks, critics said the league already told us everything we needed to know about Shedeur when 31 teams passed on him and he slid into the fifth round, and everyone was expected to accept that verdict without question. But now the same league that stamped him as a fifth-round pick just stamped him as a Pro Bowler. And you cannot respect the league's judgment only when it fits your narrative. The truth people don't want to admit is that the Pro Bowl stopped being a pure merit award a long time ago. It's not all pro, it's not the Hall of Fame, and it's not even a real football game anymore. It's a television product, and television products survive on attention. Nobody watches the Pro Bowl for competition anymore, but people will watch to see someone they argue about. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is one of the most talked about young quarterbacks in football. The league could have chosen Cam Ward. They could have gone with a less controversial name, but they didn't, because controversy creates conversation, and conversation creates viewers. Some people say Shedeur didn't earn this with his play, and statistically, that argument has weight. But statistics alone have not determined Pro Bowl selections for years. Alternates exist for a reason, and that reason is relevance. Love him or hate him, Shedeur brings eyes, and the NFL knows exactly what it's doing. Refusing the invitation would make no sense because the Pro Bowl isn't a punishment, it's an opportunity. It's a chance to market your brand, to sit in rooms with elite quarterbacks, receivers, and football minds, to learn, network, and turn controversy into leverage. For a young quarterback, that is free game you cannot buy. This moment also matters for Cleveland, a franchise that rarely gets positive national attention, and when it does, it's usually tied to dysfunction or failure. This time, it's relevance. A Browns quarterback being discussed on a national stage for something other than losing has value, no matter how uncomfortable that makes critics. The irony in all of this is that the same people who mocked Shedeur for being a fifth-round pick now have to add another title to his name. Because he is no longer just a fifth-round pick. He is a fifth-round pick who made the Pro Bowl. And football has a funny way of making loud opinions age badly. You don't have to believe he's elite. You don't have to believe he earned this purely on performance. But you do have to accept reality. The NFL chose him. The cameras will follow him. People will watch. And in today's league, attention is currency. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want real, unfiltered NFL A&D, this is where the conversation gets even more uncomfortable. Because once you accept that the Pro Bowl is no longer about pure football excellence, you're forced to admit that Shedeur Sanders is playing a completely different game than most young quarterbacks. While others are trying to win arguments with spreadsheets, EPA charts, and side-by-side stat comparisons, Shedeur is winning something far more powerful: relevance. Every time his name comes up, the room gets louder. Every time the league makes a decision involving him, it turns into a national debate. That doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen for players the NFL doesn't believe can carry attention. The league is not sentimental, and it's definitely not charitable. If Shedeur Sanders truly had no value, no pull, and no future upside, he would not be anywhere near a Pro Bowl roster, even as an alternate. The NFL has passed on plenty of players with better numbers and less noise because numbers don't sell conversations. Stories do. That's why people arguing strictly about whether he earned it are missing the larger picture. The Pro Bowl today is not a reward, it's a spotlight. and the league puts that spotlight only on people it believes can hold it without dropping it. That belief alone changes how a young quarterback is viewed around the league. Front offices notice it. Sponsors notice it. Teammates notice it. Even critics notice it because they can't stop talking about him. And while some fans say the NFL is embarrassing him by putting him out there, the reality is the exact opposite. The league is testing him. It's seeing how he handles cameras, criticism, pressure, and expectation when the lights are bright and the stakes are social rather than competitive. That is a skill just as real as arm strength or footwork, and not every quarterback has it. Shadour does. You don't survive constant scrutiny, jokes. It's in backlash without developing mental toughness. And that toughness is something coaches quietly value more than fans realize. This moment also exposes how selective outrage has become in football discourse. When other quarterbacks were named Pro Bowl alternates in the past, many with unimpressive seasons and little fan engagement, the outrage barely registered. But because this name is Shedeur Sanders, suddenly the integrity of the sport is under attack. That tells you the reaction is not about football purity, it's about discomfort. Discomfort with confidence. Discomfort with branding. Discomfort with a player who refuses to fit neatly into the traditional quarterback mold. And whether people admit it or not, that discomfort fuels attention even more. The funniest part is that years from now, nobody will remember the exact stat line that caused this argument. They will remember the label, Pro Bowler. It will be attached to his name in graphics, introductions, and conversations. And the debates surrounding it will fade while the title remains. Football history is filled with moments where perception mattered more than performance in the short term. Because perception creates opportunity, and opportunity is where careers are either elevated or exposed. This Pro Bowl selection doesn't guarantee Shadour Sanders' future success, but it absolutely guarantees that his future will be watched closely. And in today's NFL, being watched is half the battle. Love him or hate him, the league has decided he is worth the attention, and once that decision is made, there is no undoing it. If you're still watching and you enjoy real football conversations that go deeper than box scores and headlines, make sure you like this video, share it with someone who's still arguing about Shadour Sanders, subscribe for more honest NFL breakdowns, and drop your comment below, because I want to know, is this the beginning of Shadour Sanders changing the narrative? Or just another example of the NFL chasing ratings?